Welcome to Cape Ann Plein Air's conversation with artists. We have 4 artists today on our conversations, and these will be shown during our virtual Cape Ann Plein Air in October, and we look forward to seeing everyone in May of 2021 in person. I'd like to start out with everyone introducing themselves, and why don't we start with you, Len?
Hello, nice to see everyone. My name is Leonard Mazarek. I live in Westport, Connecticut. Right now I'm there. I do plein air as well. And I was doing Cape Ann the first year that they did it. And I was lucky to be selected again this year, and I'm delighted to take part.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Maria.
Hi, Maria Marino. I live in Sykesville, Maryland, which is located in central Maryland. I'm about an hour out of Annapolis. And I've been doing plein air for several years, and I do work in oil and pastel. Those are my mediums.
Wow, that's 2 different techniques.
Yes, it is. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Thank you. David?
My next?
Yep.
Hi, my name is David Derford. Presently living in Gloucester. We moved here last year after 32 years in Stonington, Connecticut. My medium is oil, although I did start painting as a watercolorist many years ago. And so, as you might gather, I'm pretty familiar with this area, and it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. I was, like Len, I was in the first one of these events. What was 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Great. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, Dan.
Hello, my name is Dan DeLuise. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited to be here and to be participating. I can't wait till we do it real live.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I live here in Rockport, actually. I have a little gallery on Main Street downtown. I am an oil painter, and I initially started out as a commercial illustrator and opened the gallery about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been painting plein air ever since. So once you go plein air, it's hard to go back to the to the studio and paint full time.
Well, welcome. Well, you're just up the street here, so you will be here in October in the fall.
I will be
perhaps
here, yes.
out and about painting. Yeah. And same as David. And the other 2, will you come down at all in the fall just to paint locally, or will you be staying put?
I may be staying put. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make it if I can. It'll be kind of exciting.
Yeah. I know there's still some hotels and things that'll be open, and
Okay.
so I know a few folks are planning to make the
I like
trip.
painting with other artists too. I think you gain a lot from that, the sharing and the camaraderie and all. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
And with plein air painting, you can keep your distance. So that's good these days with all the outdoor space. Yeah. So let's see. The last 6 months have been quite a change for everybody, no matter what you do in your life. Len, how has it been for you? Has your work changed, or your life, or?
Well, yeah, the life has changed drastically. I've been in studio for some time. Was able to break out and do some plein air here and there. I actually came back from Maine last week, which was a delight to be able to do that. But being indoors and, I've done more work, I think, because I'm indoors, but my work has changed, I would say a little darker. I actually have a painting I did, a marine painting, because I'm mostly marine subject. And I actually put a bolt of lightning in an upcoming storm. So maybe it was a mental thing, I'm not sure, but rough seas seem to be in order to subliminally paint what I'm going through.
Yeah. Yeah, and who knows what the next thing will be, you know, these days.
Exactly.
It seems like with weather and politics and the disease, pandemic, it's everyone's sort of being thrown for a loop every which way. Yeah. Okay. Maria, how have the last 6 months been for you?
Different. Kind of staying close to home, and I don't like it. I'm more like a nomad. I like going out and about, just getting in the car, going here and there. I don't like to be tethered to just one location. And I think the work is spending time doing still lifes, being creative in other ways that I normally am not. It's just, it hasn't allowed me to go to other states and go paint their shores. That for me is a downer. But I want to keep a positive attitude and just keep the artwork going and just paint something that, painting makes me happy. So I rely on that just to get me to the next day. It's very important. It's peace of mind.
Do you live near the ocean where you are right now?
No, it's 3 hours away. Usually I'll travel to Annapolis, Eastport, in that area, down the bay. I love the bay. She is so beautiful. Her boats and they all have they're just, each one has their own individual story. And I like capturing that in a painting.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be great when you come back here to
Oh, I'm just going to go nuts.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, maybe extend your stay a little bit even. Especially if it's your first time out. Yeah, it was funny. So let's see, David.
Yes.
I'm going in order on who's on my screen here.
Okay.
I say organized.
Was a little. I was thinking as we were talking, as other people were talking. I remember that July, in particular, I think I remember, July was a very warm month. A lot of hot weather, and I found that spending my day with one of those masks on my face was very unpleasant. And so as a result of that, I spent a lot of time in the studio, in the house, instead of going out painting outdoors, which is what I had planned to do. As a matter of fact, my wife and I had planned to take a trip up to Maine, and right about the time we were planning, they said, "Oh, you have to quarantine for 14 days." I said, "Wait, we can't, we're not doing that." So that was the end of that. But that's mostly that's the biggest change for me, the not being able to go out as much as I would like. I mean, I could have gone out if I wanted to, as I said, wear that mask, but I'm not enjoying the mask part of our lives now. And it's so weird. Sometimes I look at people and I think, boy, they look weird with those masks on over their face. So anyway, that's me.
Now, when you're working in the studio, are you working off of photos that you've taken?
Oh, yes. Yes. I have always done that. And occasionally something that, for me, something that's painted outdoors is extremely helpful for color, but for information, I use photographs.
Right. Great. I mean, it's not stopping anyone from painting, that's for sure. And find a way. Thank you. Dan.
So last 6 months, what's going on the last 6 months? I'm sorry. Just
the last 6 months. How's the last 6 months been for you? I mean, even with the gallery there in town.
Yeah, and it was tough. It was tough having the gallery closed for those few months. It was a little hard, but the last month and a half, 2.5 months have been good. So it's picked up. So there's some hope there. So I'm happy for that. But it was hard to paint there for a while, and I live right downtown, and it's it's a different atmosphere downtown. And so I wasn't going out as much, which I really kind of hated because I love going out, and I usually try to organize groups going out. So that was kind of hard. And so I didn't probably paint as much as I had in the beginning, but lately we've been going out again, so that's been good. And I've been dragging some other cohort friends, artists out with me, so that's been good. And getting back into it, I'm looking forward to getting painting again, as we did in the past, and getting back to a good new normal.
Yeah. With everyone wearing masks, it is strange, as David said, to be going about our everyday life, and you look around, and you're like, these people are bagging their groceries with masks on and getting in and out of the car, and it is definitely different. And for a painter, if you're out and about, you're there for hours, and it definitely changes the atmosphere of what you're doing in the fresh air. So
Yeah, when I was painting up in Maine, I was near a busy road, and I found a lot of people were stopping, and I would have my mask on and off. But when you're engaged in your plein air scene, it's difficult knowing who's coming up behind you, not mask or not mask. So it's a different way of perceiving your time alone with your painting.
Right. Yeah, it's just an extra interruption.
Yeah.
So everyone has painted on Cape Ann here. Maria, you've been here.
Never, no.
Oh, you have not been here. Okay, for some reason I thought you had. Oh boy, you're in for a treat. You're in for a real treat. So the rest of you then, what are your favorite places on Cape Ann to paint? What would you recommend? And does weather come into play? I know light does in composition, obviously. The puppy should be sleeping right now. But where's your favorite spot or scene? Glenn, you want to start?
That's not easy because there's so much material here.
Yeah, there is.
This will be too broad to answer your question, but I'm gonna offer it anywhere down by the harbor. That's my favorite place to paint.
Here, here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of beautiful places. Living on Cape Ann, it's hard to get off Cape Ann to paint. But there's always Bass Rock, which is beautiful. I try if you can sneak into Lighthouse Beach in Gloucester. That's always beautiful. Any of the quarries are beautiful to paint in. It just goes on and on. It's great.
I'm writing them down, Dan.
You go for it. I'll give you directions.
I'll see you there.
I'll give you good directions.
We're giving away all the secrets. So we don't want to give away all the secrets. So do you find that if you're painting in the harbor, and Maria, you may have some insight on this too, if you're in a harbor and there's boats, but you return maybe a couple days in a row, how do you remedy like a boat moving or something like that if you're doing a painting?
Well, for me, I am very patient, yes, because I had one painting, it was a pastel, it was 12 by 24, and the darn boat was just rotating and rotating. It was driving me nuts, but I waited, and I would just, make my marks and nail her into the water, because each of them, again, they have their own individual personality, and that's what I try to capture in a sailing vessel. And you just deal with it, you just deal with it. That's all that's what I do.
I'd like to give you an answer to that question, which all outdoor painters know. When you arrive at the edge of the harbor and you have the beautiful boat there, and you get it all drawn in on your canvas and you're ready to start, that's when they put up the sail and sail away. Turn the motor, exactly. Go away.
That's what I was wondering.
You can count on it.
They always at least have their parking spot probably, so they return at some point, right?
Get them blocked in quick. That's all. That's my
Yeah,
advice. Get
that's
it blocked
funny.
in quick.
That's funny. So I know that of course everyone's going to start taking part in live events when restrictions start to lift and feel safer to travel and get out and about. But do you have any big plans for travel, a large project? Some people are thinking about going back to teaching and that sort of thing, or does anyone have any plans for when things open up a little better, go overseas to paint?
I'd love to go to overseas again. I mean, I did a lot traveling to France and Brittany, where I feel the temperature and the climate there is very similar, and the terrain very similar to Maine, which I really enjoy. They have many more boats, wooden beautiful boats that each town has, and they will gather together in the harbor. It just makes for terrific subject matter. I almost think of Edgar Payne, who went over to Brittany and painted those glorious sardine boats. But I'm looking very much forward to that. I hope next year I'll be able to do that and time it for the great races they have. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So Dan, you said it's hard to leave Cape Ann to paint because there's so much here. How about you? Do you travel ever or have ideas to do so?
I do. I try to. I usually I don't go overseas as much as I like. I have a little bit, but I haven't got a chance to paint too much overseas. But I tend to head out west. I have a daughter out west, so I try to go out there and I paint the west. Actually, I'm really trying to work on getting an RV for this winter and actually doing some traveling with it if I can actually pull it all together. But I think I'm going to have to travel south first before I go west. It's going to be a little cold and I don't want to drive that thing in the snow. So hopefully it all comes together and I get to paint a little bit along the country that we have here that's so beautiful as well.
Yeah, the national parks. I know many artists get out there.
Right.
And in the fall would be a nice time for that too. Yeah, RV is the way everyone is going RV right now.
I know. That's why it's taking me so long to get one.
Yeah, so you can have a mobile studio, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
So we'll see.
Nice. How about you, Maria?
Well, I had to cancel a trip to France.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to paint in the south, in Cassis, and then go into Spain. I have some work that's there, in fact, and it just had to cancel everything. I want to go back because just looking at the south of France, which I've never been to, and I went a year ago to, I was in Giverny, and so I traveled to Rome, and they had the Armada. And the Armada comes back, I believe it's every 2 years. Oh my God, those boats, they're to die for. And, I just want to go back and get a sense of that landscape and their shores and their vessels, because they're quite different and their terrain is different. And I wanted to basically travel to the north into Normandy and then down to the south in Cassis, in that area.
When you do this sort of travel, do you travel with other artists or go on your own?
My husband, yeah. He's very patient. I bring my plein air kit, throw it in the suitcase, and off we go.
Yeah. That's great. That sounds like a great time. Hopefully you can reschedule that.
I hope so.
Yeah. And David, how about you?
I'm sorry, no big travel plans at the current moment.
Any desire to?
Oh, sure, I'd love to. Matter of fact, Maria's trip sounds great.
I know.
Oh, let's go.
I've always wanted to go to the south of France. And of course, I have only my imagination to, unlike Len, who been there many times. But one of these days.
Yeah, that's great. So how did you all come to be where you are? Like Dan, you have a gallery and you paint. You know, have you always been an artist, or did you have a career change? How have you come to be where you are now?
I was always an artist. Yeah, that's what I did from birth, and God gave me no other talents other than an artist. So I always kind of stuck with it, for the good or bad. But it's been really good to me. It's been a good life. It's been, a dream, and I've been able to support my family and have a career as a commercial illustrator when I first began my career, and then I was really able to open the gallery here in Rockport, and so I'm just really blessed. I'm just really lucky to be able to do that full time.
Len, how about? Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, but I've always been an artist. Yeah, so there was no other career other than this.
Did you go to, and you went to college for it, or are
Yep.
you self-taught? Yeah.
I went to Syracuse and finished up there. They had a great illustration program. I hated leaving there. I just wanted to stay there longer. Had a great art program. It was fun. It's cold, but it was fun. But so was Massachusetts.
Yeah. 2 degrees colder up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Len, how about you?
Well, I have always drawn and painted, but I had a formal education in Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, and took communication arts and design. And when I graduated there, I got a job with Esquire magazine. I was art director there, and along with some others. And after they were bought out, I opened my own business, which was in advertising, to make a living in New York City. And I was painted on the side, and I said, eventually that's what I want to do full time. I've been doing that for the last 25 years, and I feel I can paint what I want. I have the freedom to do that because I already did the assignments and deadlines that everyone knows about advertising. But no, I'm really enjoying it, and I love the plein air, getting out there and sharing along with others. I love when the younger artists come along and watch, I like sharing whatever, talk while I paint, which I'm learning a lot too, just by the questions and painting with other people. And David and I painted together, and his turned out a little better. So I told him I think I painted a little better because I was with him. But I always say, when I paint with other artists, I love stealing their palettes. I'm always interested in what palettes they use, what colors you use. I read the Group A book on color, and which was, to me, really a changer. And I'm still using that palette and discovering it. But I find it really mind-stretching, and it's always a challenge. Every painting, it's a whole new focus and discovery.
When you have younger folks asking you questions, what's sort of the main question you find that you get asked or that you're teaching?
Well, first question is, how long does that take? Second question is that oil painting?
Yeah.
And
is that watercolor?
Yeah, right. And then I say, stand back. These are toxic chemicals I'm dealing with. But the kids are great. They always want to put their fingers in everything or trip over the easel and get between you and the water. So that way you can be on the edge. But no, it's intriguing. And it's funny, in France, this happened quite often. But the French are very respectful about art and creation. They'll have their children there with them, very silent, just observing. It's almost like you're a musician or something. They have to listen, and it's rewarding to see that. And I'll talk about it. They always ask why you left that seagull out. Because I just saw it there.
Why did you leave it out?
Why did you do that? I know. and I might even put it in later. So, you know, that exchange I think is always fun and hopefully develops into new artists of the future.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I love that. Maria, how about you? How did you come to be what you are today?
I do have formal education. I went to Maryland Institute College of Art, and I majored in interior architecture. So that school had a blending of fine art and applied art. I loved it there. Again, I didn't want to leave there either. And so upon graduation, I hit the road into architecture and basically worked for firms that did commercial work. Residential was not my deal. I just like big buildings. I drew a lot of elevations, designed and cut into the space. And I did enjoy it, but again, it was a lot of hours, typically like 70-hour weeks. And it gave me a little time to paint. I've always loved to paint. And so about 5 years ago, I was able to cut the cord. I just managed everything to the point where I just was like, sayonara. I loved it. And the rush of a building being built, it's like a baby and you're birthing that baby, and it's great. I loved when a client was interested in purchasing art, and they would pay for that service and then fill it with beautiful art. That I loved. It just, those times were kind of, they weren't frequent enough, you know. It's educating the client on, you know, filling a space with beautiful art and what it brings to, you know, employees. However, you know, painting was my deal, and it was finally just 5 years ago, I could just say goodbye to, you know, that career, make that switch.
Thank you. I have a puppy down here. Stop it. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's really liberating for folks to come out of the commercial field with deadlines, as Len said, and be able to just really work on your own schedule and your own inspiration. Stop it. David.
Yeah, I've always been an artist. When I was a kid who drew and painted a little bit and so forth. And when I got out of college, I just began painting and doing, you know, going to shows, especially like street fairs and all that kind of stuff to sell paintings and so forth. So this is what I've always done. When I was in Stonington, I had become involved with a gallery called Quester Gallery, which was primarily a marine arts gallery. And so that's kind of how I got sort of moved in that direction. Originally, I just painted anything I liked. You know, I mean, street scenes, woods, whatever. But my association with Quester definitely pulled me in the marine art direction. And in the course of doing that, that was the time at which I got interested in painting rowing, collegiate rowing crew, and worked on that for quite a number of years. So a lot of those sorts of paintings. And so here I am today. It's like I woke up this morning. Oh, well, here I am, an artist, I guess. I graduated from the University of Montana with a degree in art. I have no idea if I learned anything there. I feel like I learned to paint by painting and by hanging out with other painters, which is what I did, and by looking at paintings and, you know, going to museums and thinking about how paintings were constructed and taking a few workshops along the way, and had a lot of help from a lot of different people. I'm getting to the age where I don't remember all of them. But that's my story in a nutshell.
That's great. Thank you. Something that's really come apparent to me in meeting all of the artists for Cape Ann Plein Air is how many people know each other from other events, and also how important it is to know each other. Like you said, like that actually, I think I always thought that artists just painted alone. But it's a really nice camaraderie to see and hear about. So I know May 2021 will be a great time for everyone here and anyone who shows up in the area in October. So yeah, well, thank you for showing up today. Love hearing your stories, and
Thank you.
maybe we can do some more of these even leading up to next May. Would be fun. I know everyone enjoys getting together. That's been the most fun for everybody. So